Hello, we're back, and we're looking at paragraph number 1 on page 131. And I'm wondering if you guys have any questions about the main idea, about the vocabulary, about pronunciation. If you have any questions about language, words, phrases, whatever, in the paragraphs 1 through 9, please send me a message and I will discuss them specifically. I can't discuss them all because I don't know what you have a question about and I don't want to waste your time. So if you have a question on a word or an idea or something, anything, just let me know and I will address that for you because that's what I'm here to do, in case you were wondering. Okay, so in paragraph 1, I think we've done everything we can do with that. We're looking at paragraph 2. I asked you about the first phrase, this remarkable achievement, which takes place without formal teaching, has fascinated scientists for centuries. So we have the idea of this remarkable achievement, which means the writer is looking back at paragraph 1, saying there was a remarkable achievement. What is it? Something that takes place without formal education and has fascinated, I can't say that word for some reason, fascinated scientists for centuries. What do you think? It is language acquisition again. Wow, I should just go to bed, right? Language acquisition is what we're talking about. We're talking about how do we learn a language? You don't sit down babies and say, okay, babies, let's learn Thai or let's learn Chinese. Babies don't get a class. Babies they sit around and they, do baby things and they acquire language without really trying. They just do it because they're exposed to language and their minds are ready to rock with language acquisition. So it's a fascinating subject. I studied it in graduate school. And apparently it's fascinated scientists for centuries, so the answer to that one is the achievement is language acquisition. Okay, following that in the paragraph, we go down a few lines and it says, before that time. What time? Okay, so we have to think about, did the author mention a period of time or a period in someone's life? That we can look back and find. So we're looking. The mysterious part, showing the language, blah, blah, blah. Aha. I'm looking back and I see once children begin to verbalize, this happens very easily. Okay, but what about before that time? Before the time that babies or children begin to verbalize. The pre-verbal stage of our lives when we're very young and we're just like, we're just babies. We don't say anything. We just sit there. We're listening. We're acquiring language. So the time they're mentioning is before that children begin to verbalize is that time. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, moving on to the pronoun is their connection. Now what is their? Okay. This is tricky because there usually means, it means plural, right? It used to always be plural, but there's been a change. It's a growing living language, so there's been a change. They can now refer to a single person, male or female, or we don't know, we don't care. If we don't know the sex of the person and we don't even care, we can say they. It's a new thing. We don't have a word for it in English. We don't have a singular, non-specific pronoun. We don't have it. We're missing a word. So we're going to say they. So we're thinking about something. Understand their connection to meaning. Okay. So what connection to meaning? So let's take a look at the sentence. However, the more mysterious part of the process takes place before that time, when a baby begins to perceive the sounds of language and understand their connection to meaning. So something has a connection to meaning. What does? Okay, it's going to be sounds. Sounds have a connection to meaning. So the answer in this case is sounds. It wasn't babies. It wasn't a baby. It was sounds. Sounds have a connection to meaning. Okay, in every language they do. Okay, beautiful. Okay, questions. Let me hear the questions. If there aren't questions, let me know. Moving on to paragraph 3. Research indicates that this process begins blah, blah, blah. What process? Some process they mentioned before. Okay, what did they just word or use in the second paragraph? They talked about how do babies begin this language acquisition process? And they go back to refer to this process. So hopefully you're thinking of the same process. It's the process of language acquisition. It's the same one. Came back to haunt us again. Okay. Questions? I hope. Questions, let me know. Okay. On the side, it says, there's a question number 1 there. It says, what do you think the topic of this reading is? How babies learn language, the earliest stages of language learning, or the most important factors in language learning? Okay, based on the first 2 paragraphs that we've been reading, what do you think the topic is? I'm going to say it's A, how babies learn language. Because we're talking about babies under 5, babies before they speak, babies' language acquisition. So language acquisition is the same meaning as learning language. So the answer for me is letter A. Hopefully that's true for you. If it's confusing, let me know. All right, let's go into paragraph 3. In line number 3, we have the pronoun they. It says, but they can perceive the rhythm, patterns, and tones of blah, blah, blah. Who are they? Looking, looking, looking. The answer is going to be fetuses. Babies before they're born are fetuses. So fetuses can perceive or understand the rhythm patterns and tones. Okay. And they go on to find 3 crucial tasks. If you have someone telling you 3 crucial tasks, you're looking for the tasks. This author has made it very clear for us. They have first, comma, blah, 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 semicolon. Second, comma, blah, 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 semicolon, and third, comma, blah, 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 blah. So it's like a signpost. They give you the idea of 3 tasks, and then they give you the list. So that's how you can do that in writing. And this is a great writer because they've made it easy for us to follow them. So that is taking us on the first page. If you have any questions on that, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to move on to the next page.